Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is a scene for Sept of the Howling Wind, a Werewolf the Apocalypse venue set in San Diego. I, Jesse, has been performing multiple Rightso accomplishments today for the events that took place last night, having led to glorious tales of his fellow Garu. And towards the end of the day, where the sun hasn't quite started descending past the horizon, but is definitely making its way there, he's going to make sure that there's nobody left who needs their tales sung, probably with a little bit of a sore throat by this point. He'll pull away. He definitely looks invigorated, where someone might be exhausted to the point of just being kind of like throwing the towel in. It doesn't look like he's ready to move on to the next task, but he's definitely satisfied with what he's done so far. And to unwind for a bit, he's just going to kind of take a walk for a little bit, maybe check on Dazzle, see how things are going around the Sept. So he'll make his way there.
All right. Um, so Dazzles is still not quite her usual self. She does seem to be a little bit more. What's the word? She's in a little bit better spirits since Desiree got cleansed, and she is allowed to be here on Sept. But she can be found. You know what? Today, she is drinking tea on the front porch, reading a book.
Okay, so he'll make his way. He'll make his way there, and he'll kind of flop on her steps. Like he'll plant his butt on the steps and kind of like flop backwards, arms spread, looking up at her with a smile on his face, his glasses kind of sliding down his nose.
She scoots over a little bit for him, looks at him.
Without lifting his head, he'll scoot up and like lay on the deck.
She'll put her book down. Are you okay?
He'll start to talk. His voice will come out like a little croak. So he'll clear his throat and kind of pull out a metal water bottle and take a sip of water, and he'll go, "Peachy keen."
Long day already, huh? I'm sure you're busy with everything happening around here lately.
I love it. He'll sit up and kind of flop in a seat near her.
So what can I do for you?
He'll shake his head. Nothing. Just wanted to check on you.
I appreciate that.
He'll kind of swallow.
I can tell that there's something else. Why don't we go inside? And
He'll
as
bounce
she gets up,
by wiggling his nose and get up.
as she gets up, someone else there at her feet next to the porch, she starts to get up as well, but Dazzle's motions for her to stay.
He'll look down and he'll kind of smile back at her with a new phone Hootist face.
You'll see Um, he'll flop back down and give a little bit of a protesting, just kind of a noise.
I'm gonna roll this man's willpower so that he doesn't do something wholly possibly inappropriate. Yes! So what it looks like he wanted to do upon seeing another red wolf was squee as loudly as possible, grab her muzzle, and go, "Who's a good girl?" But he doesn't. Because
Oh my god, I'm so glad
rude.
he doesn't do that.
What he actually will control himself to do is drop down next to his knees to her and look at her like with happy eyes, like, ah, you're another wolf like me.
Dazzles will smile and she'll wait. And Seeker will kind of roll over on her back.
He'll pet her chest and her tummy.
She'll roll back over. I'm Seeker. Gar her tongue. I'm a theurge. I'm trying to get back there.
He'll flop down on his tummy and rest his chin, like his elbows on the floor and his chin's on his hands, and just watch her.
She looks at him with these eyes like, what are you doing?
You know that classic "what you think about" pose?
Yeah.
What he's pulling right now. He's just kicking his feet lightly and just looking at her.
What's your name?
Jesse. I'm known as Man with 1,000 Faces by the nation. Also Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan
Coyote
Reynolds.
Boy. I get that one too. He'll nod.
Okay. What's your tribe and auspice? I'm sure she can smell the pure breed on him, but she's going to ask anyway.
I'm a Galliard. I'm a Galliard of the Ictana. I look like you if I shift.
She perks up. Like,
now do you see why I'm losing my
seriously
shit? Yeah, he'll like splay his hands. I like, now do you see why I'm losing my shit?
She actually will. She will get excited like a dog does. She'll spring up on her feet, start wagging her tail, and jump up onto, like, put her paws on his chest.
Okay, now he'll do the thing. Now that it's appropriate, he'll do the thing. Not the good girl part, but the hi.
She'll lick his face.
Kisses, kisses.
And then she'll say, I think you wanted to talk to Dazzles. We can talk more later. It's okay.
He'll nod.
Before she was very solemn, docile, and now she's got a little bit more of a pep in her step. And for the first time in 3 days, she actually leaves the vicinity and will go like she's met someone that she thinks she might be able to relate to on some level.
He'll hop up and kind of brush his hands and his clothes off and smile at Dazzles.
Dazzle smiles really widely. Like, she really enjoyed what she just witnessed. She'll say, I think we might have something else to talk about too. Come on in.
He'll come in.
Let me put her overlay back. Let me put her overlay back up. And she motions for Jesse to sit. We can sit at the table, or we can sit in the living room on the cushions. Would you like tea?
Yep. I do. Whatever you have, please. Not wanting to refuse her hospitality.
She'll make him a cup of tea. It's just herbal tea.
You know, I actually didn't have anything I wanted to talk to you about. I actually just wanted to see how you were doing.
Well, we haven't a chance to talk, and I enjoy talking to younger Galliards.
It's like his face gets a curious expression for a moment, and he tips his head, and then he remembers, oh, you mean rank, right?
Dazzles is older than him only by like 3 or 4 years, but
Ed Zachary.
That's what yes, she means rank. In the nation, younger and older refers to rank, not age.
That's why a 19-year-old is his elder.
Uh-huh. Exactly.
He'll smile at her with that charming smile and just kind of remember his fucking place.
Yeah, so she'll hand him his tea. And sit down. And she'll say, Lefty was... He brought her back from his rite of passage. Chance, she had been outcast, made Ronin. He heard her story, that she was genuine in wanting to redeem herself, so he gave her a chance. He was to be responsible for her. And now he's gone. If you'd like to know her story, I can tell you. I don't really want it getting out to just anybody, but we are Galliards after all, and might be good for her in the same way I thought you'd be good for Kate.
I'll nod.
The story I got. A grave mistake. Her intentions were good, but the execution was done very wrong, especially in a more traditional sept where she's from.
Mm-hmm.
She attached to another Garou. This wasn't any Garou. This was a black spiral dancer. This particular black spiral dancer was made to walk the spiral against his will. He did not want to be a black spiral dancer. She thought that she could help him. She took him to her sept. She defended him. They killed him, and they outcast her. She's been stripped of her tribe and rank, and was sent to live in solitude. But she understands why it was wrong. how she could have went about it a different way. But she was blinded by love and compassion, which a lot of us do at times. She pauses on that for a moment as if she's remembering something.
He'll give her a moment.
If you would like to P&E her, you can see that there's a little bit more behind the statement, something more personal.
Meow. Meow, meow, meow. 1 second. Jesse! Jesse, sheet, get over her! Jesse, sheet, no! It closed the run out. When we're live, it can make the form really slow. And it closed his character sheet.
Oh, I have it open. I think.
I almost squealed like a fucking child. Fucking kinfolk. Perception, empathy. Man, why are you so low? Jesus, you know what? This man can do a lot of shit, but apparently reading people's emotions ain't one of them. We have to work on that. Those are rookie numbers.
Right?
Probably gonna be oblivious.
Oh boy.
Yeah, no, wait. But he wasn't oblivious, but damn.
How many successes?
1.
1? You only need the 1 success to get a sense that there's for her behind that statement. She's not just talking about Seeker.
He'll kind of hold a hand up and he's like, do we need to go sub Rosa for a moment?
Huh?
You seem as though your thoughts are in 2 places right now.
She'll smile. I've been around a long time. I've experienced a lot of things, and I can understand more than most when it comes to things like this. Mistakes. I know I've made plenty. We all do.
He'll nod emphatically.
I don't know if you can tell, but I was not born as a child of Gaia.
He'll put his fingers close together in like a little bit fashion, but not in a disrespectful way. Just kind of, I've picked that up. I have my own inner bet pool as to which tribe you were born.
She actually will laugh at that. Really?
Mm-hmm.
And what, let me hear what you think. I'm interested.
My personal bet pool is that you are either one of 3 things. You are either a Silverfang, a Shadow Lord who came from Silverfang, or a Fianna. You have that nobility about you, that grace that comes from. He'll think for a moment. Not noble blood, but the refinement of respectability, I guess. He'll just kind of shake his head.
She smiles. This is definitely not the first time she's heard any of this. I'm not a Fianna, or wasn't a Fianna. Although I grew up with some good ones. The other 2, you're right. My father is a Shadow Lord. My mother, a Silver Fangkin.
He'll smile.
I'm not particularly fond of the Silverfangs myself, but my father loved my mother deeply. I saw him commit many atrocities to keep her safe.
I have a simple problem with the Silver Fang. You can't stand in the middle of a war lost or quickly spiraling towards losing and demand people bend knee.
She nods.
I don't really give a shit about the loss of my people. The noble savage is not something that I adhere to. The fact of the matter is that Native Americans tore themselves up just fine before the white men got here. And if people think that we weren't a culture just as embittered and entrenched in murderous war and savagery as any other, he'll shrug. I don't even know what to fucking say. You're naive at that point. By the time the white man got here, natives had already done a just fine enough job ripping themselves apart. They just came in and made sure the job got finished, I guess. But had we been a united nation of people, had the tribes been principled and held together, maybe we would have had a chance. So I don't really see us as a, he'll wave his hand, a conquered people in the sense that something unjustly wrong was done to us. He's like, does that make sense?
She'll nod. My sept.
By the way, very quickly, that is an informed conclusion. I am Native American myself. If that seemed a bit racist, just to assure the audience. I know that was controversial. But go on, please.
My sept was torn apart by fighting with each other. Silver Fangs and Shadow Lords trying to coexist. It didn't work out well.
I'll nod.
I didn't want any part of it at all. So I left. I didn't tell my family where I was going, and I left. And the sept that I came here from is where I spent most of my cubhood. The sept was a joint sept like this one with Uktena and Children of Gaia. And that's where I met my mentors, my packmates. The message that Children of Gaia represent, it spoke to me. I knew that was my calling. That's where I needed to go. I don't know what happened to my mother and father. I don't know if they're alive. I haven't heard from them since I left.
Can I get she might be due a P&E because Jesse's had thoughts and has a thought, but she can tell that he really has worked on his impulse control.
Okay. So you would like me to P&E Jesse?
Yes, please. He's not actively trying to hide it. It's just she might be able to pick up something.
Did you set up in 1?
No.
2.
You want to do 1 since the last scene was in 2?
Sure. Well, I know that you already made a roll. Where did you make it?
You did, you're right. Where did I make it? I'm so sorry. I hate doing that. You know, I've been rolling in miscellaneous because of, you're right. I'm sorry.
Because of the right. Okay.
Yeah, I've been rolling
fine.
Right. I'll do.
Okay, so set it up.
Set it up.
I'll set it up in 1.
Sorry, I've just been using miscellaneous all day. I slept.
It's okay. Okay. So I will. Peony, you know that this bitch has empathy out the ass, right?
I didn't say I didn't want her to pass.
6 successes.
Okay. Jesse has specific thoughts concerning exactly her. And not like a general child of Gaia, dead mother, blah, 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 but her as a person. He is rolling around thoughts in his head.
Mm-hmm.
And as she speaks of her paternity and like her blood and her heritage, she notices that he's paying attention.
Okay.
Because she got so many, it's not a negative thing. It's curious.
For sure. And she'll notice that. Feel free to ask questions.
Oh, I'm just getting to know you better, that's all. If you don't mind.
Not at all. Not many actually sit down and take the time to get to know me. I'm of high enough rank now that most are intimidated. The cubs, they learn from me, but they don't really talk to me. Lefty did, but he didn't ask a lot of questions. And I don't like to volunteer a lot of information, but you know. Anyway, so I found my place within the Children of Gaia. And I've seen a lot. I've been through a lot. I made a lot of mistakes early on. Nobody but my pack knows this. They've done a very good job keeping it quiet. I would appreciate it if it didn't go any further than here.
I'll nod solemnly.
I fell in love with the wrong person. Another Garou. And I had a child. And that child is an adult now. He lives in the sept I came from. His father left shortly after he was born. I fostered him out. I visited him often. He knows who I am. But I couldn't raise him myself. Perhaps that's why I'm a dead mother now. So I can make up for my mistake. Do my best to raise Garou to be the best they can be. Lefty reminded me a lot of my son. Just the way that he viewed the world, the hope that he had, despite what he'd been through. Perhaps I saw a little of myself in him as well.
It was a beautiful soul.
I've made a lot of mistakes. So it's my goal in life to make sure that my mistakes aren't repeated in others. While I do regret the relationship I had with another Garu. I don't regret my son. He is a wonderful, wonderful being.
I could never. I don't think I could ever regret an action that I made from a place of love. I might regret that it does not serve the greater purpose, as it were. But when an action is taken in and from a place of true love, maybe sometimes that's just life's way of saying, he'll shrug. It's going to be a lesson in compassion and the cutting way, the hard times. Had that not happened, then you wouldn't have come to this sept, probably, and been a mother to so many. Granted, you tasted loss yourself, but you've also given so much to so many who had so little. That's why I admire you.
There are tears in her eyes. Thank you.
Of course.
I haven't even told you the worst part, though.
Oh, yeah?
That Garu who I fell in love with, he walked the spiral after we had our child, and he tried to come back and get him and take him for them. And I wasn't going to let him do that. So you know what I had to do.
Ah. Now something you said last night makes sense.
I made sure that he would never come for my son or any other Garu ever.
The way that I was talking to Sierra about this not too long ago. The way that spirals can take us and force us to take their ways. I wish that we had something like that. I wish that we had the equivalent of the black spiral, someplace that I don't know. I'll shrug. It just puts so much effort into coming to us and dragging us away in the night and adding us to their ranks. I feel so powerless against it.
I know the feeling of wishing that we could just go and capture them and take them back for Gaia, but that takes away, that makes us no better than them. The thing with them is they believe that their purpose is just as great as we believe our purpose is. And to each other, we're all monsters. We're all trying to thwart the other's progress to what they believe is the greater good. And I know that. But what they don't realize is they're killing the very being that brought them into existence. Because without Gaia, nothing exists. Not even the worm. You destroy Gaia, you destroy us all.
But then there is a very severe question that begs to be asked. The worm is the essence of destruction, yes?
It is.
How do you destroy destruction?
It's the war we can never win. All we can hope to do is balance the worm again.
Which is not going to happen by us sending the worm's agents to his very grasp. Nope. See, that's my opinion. If you kill a black spiral dancer, who's to say that in destroying that black spiral dancer, you have not sent him directly, his spirit, his essence, and everything, directly to the worm, strengthening him? You see, my opinion is you have to take from the worm and cleanse it, make it good and pure again, so that that destructive force is nullified. If you cleanse something, Banes, black spiral dancers, places, things like that, then it turns around and it becomes it's outside of the worm's grasp.
That's where the theurges come in. We teach our theurges, when you kill Banes, when you kill black spiral dancers, you bind their spirits so that they can't return to the worm.
For how long?
Well, whatever you bind it in.
And
whatever their spirit is bound into. You can feed it to other spirits, to Gaian spirits, and it will cleanse.
He'll nod.
I'm surprised that you don't know that. You are an Uktena. That is what your theurges do.
My sept was a little bit wary about telling me things involving the worm. His glasses dropped to show his piercing ice blue eyes. Let me get it. Worm. And he'll push them back up. His coyote spirit runs through me. Now I can tell you with a surety, on my honor and life, I am a Gar. Accepted among the tribes. I am not one of the coyote changers. Is that somebody you really want getting a hold of your secret worm lores? He'll smile softly. It is part of.
You lagged out for me. What did he say about worm lore?
Oh, he said, "Is that really someone you want getting to your ancient worm lores?" Say he'll push his glasses back up and say, "It's part of why I left."
She'll nod. That's a shame. You should talk to the Keeper of the Land, Binds by Blood. She's an Uktena Theurge. I think she'd be more than happy to impart her knowledge about your tribe.
Learn some stuff. I got knowledge on my tribe, just not a lot of its. I know my grandfather gazed so deeply onto the worm's machinations that his eyes were pure milk white. Out from what he saw. And I know that he fought the worm with a smile on his face until his dying day. And I know he just never wanted me to ever really look into it too much. I don't know why. He'll shrug, it wasn't really my place. Submission to those in greater station.
She nods.
But I know enough about the worm to keep myself out of trouble and to fight it.
That's all really anyone else knows about the worm. I've spent a lot of time learning about a lot of things. I'm a Galliard. It's what we do.
He'll sip his tea and smile. Do you, and I'm not going to assume, do you imbibe?
What did he say? Are you what?
Do you imbibe? Do you smoke marijuana?
Oh. Yeah, I do. Yes, I do.
He'll pull out a like an Altoids tin and pop it open. And he's got a couple fucking joints in there. He smokes like everybody knows he smokes. And he'll like give her a smile, as in, is it okay?
She'll nod.
He'll pull one out, light it, take a good deep inhale, pass it over.
She'll take it. She'll take a very long hit off of it, breathing it in slowly, exhaling deeply, hands it back. It's not bad. Do you know what I have in my garden?
What do you have?
She points to the joint.
My cousin, his crazy ass, caused our sept leader back home to almost lose his mind because he took his pack. And he was like, we going on a mission, we'll be back. We're going deep, Umbra. Apparently they were celestial hopping, okay? Going to different worlds. He like raises his hand and like puts it out like, holy shit. Do you know what these backwards ass idiots did? They went to Tambia.
What?
They went to Tambia and they got Tambian weed. The greatest gardens of Gaia, and they went for weed.
Wow.
Was so angry. The Theurge was laughing until he couldn't laugh anymore. I'm pretty sure she ruptured something internally. But my cousin went all the way to Tambia, to Venus, just for weed. He was on duty for a year. It made me look so good. He'll take another hit and just smile. You got really quiet.
I'm just listening.
To me talking about my crackhead cousin going to Tambia for weed?
It's just nice to listen to someone else. I find myself doing a lot of the talking.
You don't really ever unwind, do you?
No, not really.
What about your pack mates?
Well, I mean, we do, but I'm the den mother. I'm always on alert.
He'll like chew his lip like he has thoughts, but
I was really hoping that I could let Lefty take over when he became Adrian. He was so good with the cubs. He would have made a fantastic den father. Fangs of Wrath, previously Stings in Shadow, would have made a fantastic den mother too. I don't know where she went to. She's gone.
I think I heard something. I think I heard Kyle say something about that. We can look into that if you want.
I'd like to know what happened to her, if she's alive. She was good with the cubs too.
I got something that I got to take care of eventually, and my pack is in on me with it, but it's going to take a long time.
Oh?
You know I'm getting married, right?
I had a feeling. I heard your howl a few days ago.
Keep this between you and me, please.
She'll nod. Of course. I'm asking you to keep my secrets.
My kin was abused by his mate. She took his child.
She narrows her eyes.
Mm-hmm. He tries to defend her. He tries to say she's a good mother, that, you know, he's sure that everything's fine. And you know what? Hell, maybe she fucking is.
She's Garu.
Mm-hmm. Gotta talk to Punches about it, see if he knows who she is and all that, because I can tell you this. I know she laid it. With the way he reacts, he's caught them. He's caught them claws.
I guarantee you, if Punches knew about this, she wouldn't be alive.
He just wants to see his daughter, and I don't blame him. If somebody kept me from my kid, God, I'd kill myself trying to get to him. But that's the problem. Somebody's keeping my husband away from his child. Just by extensions, makes her my stepdaughter.
See if you can get her name out of him.
Mm-hmm. He'll actually pull his phone over, and he'll text, and he'll how you doing, baby? Love you. How's your day? Good to hear. Blah blah blah. You know, and then once he'll just kind of just hold the joint in his mouth and pass it, and talk, and he'll text him, and he'll say curious question. What was the name? What was your wife's name? Like kind of shoot at it's important. And he'll basically just wait for him to respond.
He'll get a response in a little while. Nick looks at his phone and is...
Once the PTSD panic attack passes, why he asked while he was at work.
Right?
It was like there's one of two choices. I can either ask him at home where he's going to panic on me, Or I can ask him at work where he's surrounded by fucking counselors. Never say Jesse
That
is
is
a
very that is very true.
coyote wee. If you're laughing hysterically, I've done my job. Were you dying?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay. He puts his phone down knowing that Nick is probably gonna fucking lose it, but at least he'll be around counselors and it'll be okay. He'll be like, I'm gonna get yelled at so bad later.
After a few minutes, you'll get her deed name, but he's not ready to say her actual name.
That's
and that's
he'll
what you get.
He'll basically text him back like, "That's all I needed. Subject closed. Take you out to dinner tonight. Love ya. Kiss, kiss." Saz. I just look up at her like, I'm so fucked. Like kidding me for like a week. He'll just throw his phone over his shoulder, letting it land on a fucking pillow. No, but I mean, if you don't, I mean, that's a heavy loss on your end. I'm terribly sorry about that. If you, I mean, I'm more than happy to help out with the Cubs. I like to think that I'm encouraging and a good role model. And I mean, I know the tales. I'm a Galliard, so I know what to tell them. And I do know the laws because there are many tales of people bungling them up and, well, that not going really well.
I could use the help now that both of my helpers are gone. Though,
I mean, I'm a guardian. Will it take me off of guardian duties, or do I just have to multitask?
Should just have to multitask. You're not fully responsible. You're just helping out.
No shrug. I'm fine with.
I need to speak with Binary first, though. I'd like you to help. I'd like you to help regardless, but I need her and I to get on the same page.
Look, as far as that goes, he'll kind of like wave his hand lightly. I mean, I just don't care. I mean, I don't care. If you care for me or you care in general, I mean, okay, fine. But in hindsight, there's just so much more going on that I don't have time for that.
I care that she's a cub who overstepped her station.
I mean, that's fine. If you want, I can run down to the Mistress of Challenges and tell her, you know what, she overstepped her station, I'm challenging her if you want. If that'll solve it, yeah, I can do that.
I'm the den mother, and I need to resolve it because she needs to understand her place as a cub. I don't really care whether or not she resolves her issues with you. I need her to understand her position, where she is, who she is. She is not a full Garu yet. She is a cub, and she does not get to treat anyone the way that she treated you and the way that she treated me.
Testify. He'll raise the joint up.
I've been very lax with the cubs on the sept, and for some it works, for others not so much.
Mm-hmm.
I really...
I mean, everybody needs a different hand.
I've tried to remove myself from my upbringing as a Shadow Lord. with Silverfang blood. I've practiced many, many years of patience, understanding, taking deep, deep breaths. I even have made it to where it's really hard for me to frenzy. And as you saw last night, I can pull others out of frenzy.
Mm-hmm.
But people, Garou, not knowing their place and disrespecting those of higher station is one thing that really gets under my skin. So I will solve it. One way or another.
He gives her a...
I coddled her more than I should have. Probably because she's a menace.
She can probably get another peony roll from Jesse.
Okay. Five.
I'm gonna type it. No, I can say it. Whatever thought it is that Jesse has, she can see his resolve in that thought strengthening. And he's basically listening to her, like, deeper, and, like, really paying attention to her. He also seems to be very relaxed around her. Not as though he's disrespecting the order and rank, but as though he's letting her kind of slip into a deeper... I don't want to use intimacy in the way that, like that, but that sort of a thing. You follow me?
Yeah, he's comfortable.
He's comfortable.
Which Dazzles likes. She really gives off that motherly, vibe. She's a matron. That is one thing she prides herself on, is that people feel safe around her. Good. She's worked very hard to get that aura for herself. So she doesn't mind at all. She's told people, when you're in my house, unless you severely overstep, I don't care about formalities.
Yeah, but he'll take another drag, and she can tell that he's really looking at her and, like, thinking and putting, like, thoughts in order. You'd say we've become a little bit familiar with each other, correct?
She'll nod.
He'll nod. Okay.
I would like... Seeker is not uneducated. She was Adren before she was stripped of her rank.
Mm.
But she does need some guidance. She needs reassurance. She needs to know that she can be a good Garou again. She needs that support. I've seen the way you've been with Kate, what you've done for her. If you'd like, I think Seeker could use some of that same support.
I'd be happy to help.
Good. She needs someone. I have so many cubs that I can't just focus on one for a long period of time. I like to find, if they can't bond with the other cubs, to find someone else to bond with. Oh, she has taken a liking to symphony of memes and bamboozles the worm.
Nick has a way about himself too that helps to kind of. If she starts spending time around Kate and me and things like that, she'll probably end up. And he's good with people too. You'd like him, I think. You know him, don't you?
I know who he is, yes. I mean, he is my packmate's nephew.
When she talks about Nick, the look on his face is fucking ridiculous.
She'll smile.
Deep contempt.
I can tell that you really love him.
I do very, very much.
I know that same-sex relationships in the nation are. She kind of gives a hand waggle. It's 50-50. Some are accepted, some are not. Especially Garou and Kin, because some believe that that takes away a potential. A lot of Garou treat Kin like cattle, that they're just good for breeding stock.
His jaw goes so tight, you can hear his teeth squeak.
But a lot of Garou treat each other like that too. If you can't breed, what good are you to the nation?
Well, I can't see why us being mated prevents us from having a child.
Oh, it absolutely doesn't. And honestly, same-sex couples make wonderful parents for Metis.
I worry about that because I don't want Nick to get hurt when you're dealing with a terrible 2-year-old who also has claws. But I had thought...
There are precautions you can take.
Well, since the conversation has moseyed in this direction, I was thinking about maybe finding us a surrogate.
Garou or Kin?
I know Nick has had a wife, so I know that he can lay with a woman. I'm reluctant to pass my blood on because of... He'll kind of tap his glasses. He means his coyote heritage. I know how much it's... I know how heavy it's been on me.
She'll smile.
And to be honest, I don't know. There's a part of me that just doesn't see myself as biologically being a father. I don't know why. I really can't put my finger on it. He'll lick his lips. There's like no fucking way she shouldn't have a peony roll. Can you help me out here? Like...
Another 10 dice at diff 4. There's 6 more successes.
Well, there you go. Look at the chat. Because I'm imagining she's probably starting to feel this.
Uh-huh.
Again, though, he's working on those impulse controls. He's really, really working on it.
Fortunately, Garou's breeding age goes a little farther than normal humans do.
It does.
Are you asking me to be your surrogate?
Oh, well, no, I mean, that's not what I'm... Yeah. Let me be a little more... Okay, hold on. Hold a hand up like, Jesus fucking Christ. It would honor me if you would take into consideration being me and Nick's child's mother. I think you are a very beautiful mother, and I think that Nick's blood and your blood would be strong, and that child would come into a lot of love.
The child's personality would be that of Silverfang, Shadow Lord, and Get a Fenris. Are you prepared for that?
Oh, we're reading a leader.
She'll nod.
Oh, God, wow. Hold on. That is Silverfang, Fenrir, and Shadow Lord. Wow. Damn, that sounds legendary. With an Octana coyote blooded father. How can it not happen? I haven't really spoken to Nick much about it. We've brushed over the subject of having children, adoption, surrogacy, all of those good things. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to see first off if you could or even wanted to have a child. And if you would honestly consider it. And I know it's your packmate's nephew, so that might make you more inclined to it. And you and I seem to get along very well. And I don't want it to be a situation where the mother isn't involved in our child's life. I want the mother just as involved as us.
I will consider it. However, when this happens, I can't be the dead mother anymore. Someone has to take up that mantle.
I'll nod.
So when I can give over the position, then that can happen.
It looks like I have motivation to Don't look at her. Light a fire under my ass, why don't you there, huh?
She smiles.
I need to put across what you just said in coyote terms. Are you ready?
She'll nod.
Replace me so I can be your child's mother.
I mean, pretty much.
He'll nod and hand her back the joint.
She'll take it and fucking smoke that shit.
He'll do something odd, but it doesn't come across as sexual. He'll since they're on like cushions and couches and pillows and all that stuff, he'll actually hold his arm out to her. Just kind of a very like gentle, like friendly motion, not a sexual motion.
Mm-hmm. She'll come closer to him and accept his embrace.
He'll kind of like he'll rest his chin on top of her head, and he's like, the litany is very, very clear about mating, but it didn't say a damn thing about cuddling.
You're right about that. That's why I didn't mind when Lefty and Kate would share the same teepee.
He'll pull her in his arms in a very, because our fucking empathy is so high, he really doesn't have sexual urges towards her. It's a gesture.
She can feel that.
Yeah, it's a gesture of comfort and love in a platonic way. But he's so shoving in a fucking cuddle sesh.
Which is totally, she's definitely down with that. And she'll even say, you don't know how much I wish that I could have allowed those two to be together.
Oh, God, yes. I would have walked that girl down the aisle happily to him.
Yeah.
She
I
actually
would have.
rolled down his eye, like his cheek.
Same for her. She really viewed Lefty like a child. So in a sense, you have two parents
Mm-hmm.
wishing that they could have let their children be together.
Mm-hmm. He'll just
And I
nuzzle her.
think with that, I think that's a good place to end the scene.
It is. So, thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching.